Hello, everyone. Welcome to the April 2025 recording for my show. I actually am getting that I'm to talk with Jesus. He wants to talk to us about resurrection. In America, or in the Christian tradition, I should say, Easter just occurred in America on the 20th. And so I just did a journey to go to the other side. It's called the upper world in the shamanic training. You go to the upper world for spiritual knowledge. You go to the lower world for healing. And the middle world you avoid at all costs. So that's where disease and trauma and illness and negative entities and beings are. So we avoid that. But I just arrived on the other side. Hello, Father. Oh, I'm being embraced in all unconditional, all-encompassing love. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Namaste, my children. Namaste. I have missed Karen's radio shows when she used to have conversations with us on a regular basis. And it's wonderful to be doing this again, to bring it forth to YouTube. So, namaste to all of you. I want you all to remember something. The reason you will hear Karen call Jesus bro is because you're all my children, which means that you are all brothers and sisters. And if you're all brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter what race, color, or creed you go by. You are all brothers and sisters of the Creator, of creation energy, of spirit. You all have the same spirit in you. You are linked by that thread, that spiritual connector point to the field. It's where you co-create. It's where everything happens. All manifestations occur in that field. Please remember that. You are all one. And the reason that Jesus has told you and left the message to love thy neighbor as thyself, because you and your neighbor are the same self, the same energy, the same field of information. You are all one, just as you are a part of me. I've always liked to explain it to Karen as, I'm the ocean, you're a cup of it. Well, if you're each a cup of that ocean, you are all related. You all are of the same molecular structures. It is so important at this time in human evolution that you remember this. You remember that connection. You remember that you're all of the same spiritual essence. Because otherwise you're going to destroy yourselves. And it is so hard for me to watch you choose that. You have free choice. As Karen said many times, I never tell you what to do, say, or think. If a being is telling you exactly what to do or where to go or what you need to do now, it's not me. I will provide you with the pieces of information you need to make choices. But I'm not going to tell you you have to, because then I'm not the creator that gave you free choice and free will. I take away the very essence of your spirit. Choice is the essence of your spirit. It's what allows you to co-create. If you didn't have choice, how could you create anything? Then you would just be a robot. You wouldn't be manifesting. You wouldn't be intuiting. You wouldn't be creating. You wouldn't be visualizing. You wouldn't be investigating. You wouldn't be analyzing. You wouldn't be any of the emotional components that make you human. And you're in human form to be able to accomplish that as spirit. I want you all to really think about these words and take them to heart, because Jesus will help you understand why. Hey, Jesus. Hello, bro. So good to see you. I am so excited to be here having this conversation with all of you. I'm going to have to bring that forward more often. I miss these conversations. For those of you who never listened to my radio show, and it's now completely gone on Blog Talk, I wish I would have listened to the voice that kept saying, download, download, Karen, download, download. Yeah. Anyway, I used to have a radio show, and I would talk to Jesus. I would talk to the sun. I would talk to the moon. I would talk to the archangels, and each one would bring a different message. And I would do 2 shows a month and then 1 Andromeda Council show. And it was amazing. And then I could have callers call in, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I got to the point where I had to stop it because I was just worn out. I was exhausted from working full time and doing all of that. So I'm back talking to Jesus. Yay! Yay is right. I've missed these conversations as well. Thank you for honoring my request to be here today. For those listening, I just want to point out that I tried to do this on Easter. And I was going to do it Easter morning. And then it was, no, the energies were too chaotic. Chaotic's not the right word, really. It's the fact that all of the Easter services were happening and it wasn't the right time to key into the energy because of the celebrations around the world. So I decided to do it Easter night. But I had an allergic reaction to a juice that I purchased. I think it had started to ferment. And my body sees fermentation as mold. And so I have been healing from that reaction that happened all week. So you may be hearing me coughing and things like that. That's what's going on. So, Jesus, we're here today. We're going to have this conversation. I got the message that you wanted to talk about resurrecting you. And everybody, I find it very interesting that I'm having this conversation with Jesus now because I just wrote one of the lessons for my book, Divine Guidance from Love, How to Unconditionally Love You. And this lesson was, you've got to be taught to love and hate. You've got to be carefully taught. And it is about Jesus asking me to go see the movie The Passion. And the challenge that I had with that. And I was so angry that I had to go through that all those horrific emotions as an empath. Gosh darn. I couldn't breathe when they were doing the lashing. I just couldn't breathe. I was sobbing when I came out of that movie, just sobbing. The pure horrific horror of it. Yeah. And I ultimately explain what I learned, the reason I had to go through that was. So I find it very interesting that I wrote that today and then was doing this recording tonight. So I don't think that was a coincidence, was it, Jesus? No, it wasn't. In fact, that's why else we wanted you to wait to record this, because I want to link that all together for you. As God was saying, let me follow up with what he started for all of you. You are at a very pivotal point in humanity's ascension. And especially now with what's going on with all the alignments, with all the galactic astrological alignments happening. And as it was explained in Karen's Andromeda Council show, these galactic alignments are like the lock on a safe. And you turn it one way and you hear the click. Then you turn it the other way, you hear a click. And the next way, and the next way, and the next way, and the next way, until the safe door opens. Now, Karen's analogy, which was really points on, is utilizing a canal locking system, where you come into the canal and the water has to come up or release to move you forward. And you keep flowing that way through the lock. The water represents the emotions. And in order to go into the next lock, the next movement, you've got to release the emotions. Next movement, release the emotions. Release the water. and that gets you through the canal. You're all going through another birth canal. This is a new canal. What I want to call it is you're going through your resurrection cycle. It is really, really, absolutely a magnificent moment in history that you all get to resurrect yourselves. Let me say that again. This is a magnificent, one-of-a-kind moment that you all get to resurrect yourselves. And in this resurrection, you have to release the density, the layers of density that are in the way of you moving through into the next level. We could say the next altitude of your ascension. Because each time you release all of this emotional baggage and garbage, you're flying light, you're lighter. You're able to fly more. You can't see angels because they take themselves so lightly. They're at a higher vibrational frequency that you are too dense to feel and see. Most people are, unless you do the work and remember your skills, like Karen and other clairvoyants and clairaudience. You all have the skills. It's a matter of remembering and practicing. So now, the reason that the chapter she just wrote is so important to this conversation is we had her when she got home from the movie and was yelling at me, sobbing. Why did you make me go through that? I'll leave out the superlatives that she used, but why did you make me go through that? What was that about? And of course, she was too dense in her anger and her crying to even hear the answer at the time. None of you can hear at that level of emotion. You're vibrating too low. You can't possibly hear spirit. So, an unusual event happened that night. She was in bed by 9 o'clock. That never happens unless she's sick. She was in bed at 9 o'clock, and at 3 in the morning, God's time, we always talk to her in threes. That is her number, threes. 3 o'clock on the dot. She woke up singing, "You've got to be taught to love and hate. You've got to be carefully taught." Now, the words of the song from South Pacific are actually, "You've got to be taught to hate and fear. You've got to be carefully taught." Interesting, though, that she shifted it to love and hate, right? And what I brought forth in this lesson and what she realized at the time is the scene with the soldier. The scene with the soldier in this movie that she caught as an actress, she caught this powerful moment when Jesus says, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." And the soldier looks up at Jesus because somebody's forgiving me? It was an unknown concept. Soldiers are taught to hate and kill and harm and torture. That's their job. Why would you forgive me for doing my job? What? Why? It was a moment that cracked the armor of hate. And she caught it, which is what I wanted her to do. And then that's what led the soldier to put water on the sponge and led that being to a compassionate moment. Because while you're hating and while you're in fear, there is no compassion. There's no kindness. You can't get there. You can't get there. And don't you have plenty of examples on your planet about that? Look at the Holocaust. Look at what happened in Rwanda. Look what's happening in Israel. Every single time you look what they did to the Native Americans. When you have carefully, carefully, carefully taught hatred and fear. You have crushed out compassion and kindness and caring. And what she realized when she was writing this chapter is that this is centuries old teaching. It's taught from generation to generation. It's taught from the time the child's a baby. This person of that color is no good. This person who practices this religion is somebody you should hate. They're wrong. You're right. Your world has so much taught hatred and fear. Nobody could hear my message about loving self and loving others as yourself. God just explained to you, you're all of the same creation energy. You are all brothers and sisters. You are all a cup of the same ocean. You are all one. Is it any wonder there's so much disease on the planet? You're killing each other, which is killing you too. Is there any wonder that there's so many energy imbalances on Earth that she's reacting so greatly? Because of the hatred and the anger and the warring that is happening on her surface. Because you're one with all the planets. They're all creation energy. They're all water molecules and hydrogen and nitrogen, the same as you are. Just a different molecular structure, but the same basic elements. How do you resurrect you? Love yourself. Accept who you are and who you are not. What Karen's writing about. Realize that you are all of the same basic elemental source. Realize that powers that be, the men behind the curtain, whatever you want to call them, they are using the oldest warring strategy that has existed on your planet. Divide and conquer. And the more they get you hating each other, the more control they have. That's how they got rid of me. That's how they've gotten rid of people like JFK and Martin Luther King and all of the people who taught kindness and love and compassion throughout the centuries. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer. They have you warring with each other, fighting each other, hating each other. You will do crimes against humanity for them. You will carry out their crimes, the same as those soldiers did to me. The exact same. Because I was someone that they were allowed to hate, so they had their right to do that to me. They were taught that. You've got to be taught hate and fear. You've got to be carefully taught. Brothers and sisters, you've got to be taught unconditional love. You've got to be carefully taught. It is the essence of who you are, who all of us are. It's creation energy. It is your equality. You are equal because of the spiritual creation energy that's in each of you. That's what makes you all equal. That's what makes you all brothers and sisters. And you've got to be taught. You're allowed to feel that. You're allowed to love yourself. When were you ever told you're allowed to love yourself fully and completely? People don't really say that. Parents don't really say that. Oh yeah, it's assumed. Assumed. You know what they say about that word. It is time to resurrect you by loving you. And the way you love you unconditionally is you let go of all the things you're not. And you love yourself for not being those things, as well as being who you know yourself to be. Can't be everything. Sorry. That's not even God is everything. God is not void of love. That's a different energy source. You are one of a kind, cup of God. You are a one of a kind, co-creative force. Honor who you are, because when you do, when you love you, you're going to love your neighbor. And that neighbor and that neighbor. And it's not going to matter what color, what race, what creed, what country, what nationality, what religion. It's not going to matter. Because you will recognize that that being is the same as you, just has a different costume on. And when you do that, you will love each other as yourselves. And when you love each other as yourself, war will end. This pitting people against each other will end. The powers that be, that small handful of void of love energy, will have no power, none whatsoever. No power. Because you will all be linked in a common bond of love. And that energy, that light source is so bright, they cannot even function. They get their power, they get their energy, they get their life from your fear. They feed off of fear. And when you stand in love for yourselves and each other, they have absolutely no energy. That is the way you unplug them. You unplug them. And either they transform to love and light, or they go back to their energy source and they are recreated. Either way, love will always triumph darkness. It will always eliminate darkness. And the only way darkness can continue on your planet is for you to continue to carefully be taught hatred and fear. Choose. Choose to resurrect you. Choose to remember your connection with all that is, your spiritual, co-creative essence that equals all other beings. That beautiful light in each of you that will shine so powerfully when you all come together in love. That light force will be so great. It will lift humanity to a new level of existence. And wow, what a show that's going to be. What a beautiful show that's going to be. The way I resurrected was to step into my light energy. I transformed my biological form back into light. It is a Buddhist technique that I learned to step into the rainbow body. That's why the shroud had my imprint. I became light. Came up through the shroud. You are all that light. You can resurrect yourself in the same way, but you don't have to die to do it. You resurrect that light in your heart, and you utilize that heart energy, and you connect each other in love, and that is the way you resurrect you, your world, humanity, Mother Earth, your solar system, your galaxy, and the universe beyond. That is the way to resurrect you. Wow. That sounds so great. Thank you, Jesus. Um, Boy, did that put it in a nutshell. I love that. Whew. Um, any other messages? I feel like you just mic dropped it. Like that was the mic drop. Boom. Um, it was so crystal clear. Now I get why I couldn't do the show sooner. I needed to write that piece. It certainly helped put it all together, didn't it? Yes. Yes, it did. There's actually more to that lesson. So, guys, just have to wait for the book for that. But is there anything else? Anyone else that's going to be here? I keep sensing Mary is here. I am. Oh, hi, Mary. Namaste. This is Mary Magdalene, guys. Namaste. I would like to add one more piece to what Jesus just said. That when you love yourself, remember that you have duality within you. You have the duality of masculine and feminine. And we all know that along with the hatred that's been taught, there is a taught imbalance about feminine traits and masculine traits. The feminine traits are too wooey, too emotional. And your masculine traits are the power traits. What I want to remind everyone is that women have children, guys. You have no clue what the power of birth is, unless you've watched it. Yes, men have physical strength. Yes, women have emotional strength. But the reason that you have both in your biological bodysuit is because you need the two to balance each other. So not only do you want to learn to love yourself, you want to learn to balance the feminine and the masculine. You want to honor both aspects of your being because one is out of balance with the other or without the other. You need them both in balance. You need them both functioning well. And in the new time frame of astrological alignments, you need them to be even keeled. Not heavy on the emotion and light on the physical. Bring them back to balance. And men, this really applies to you as well. You've got to allow your feminine side. Because remember something that just came up in this story tonight. When you're taught hatred and fear, you are in physical survival. That's the fight or the flight. You're in the chest area and you're fighting that saber-toothed tiger or you're running from some dinosaur. That's your fight or flight. When you're in fight or flight, you are a perfect subject to be taught hatred and fear. When you're in compassion and love and kindness, you are not an easy target to be taught hatred and fear. But sometimes when you're too far in that direction, you also don't have the physical balance to walk through life. We are asking you to not only resurrect self, but to resurrect that balance, the masculine-feminine balance, because that's the true place to unconditionally love yourself, to love who you are and who you are not. It's okay that you can't go lift 100 pounds or 50 pounds. But if you can hold a child and calm them down and nurture them, that's equal in weight. It's about the value. How are you valuing the gifts of the two aspects? When you put the proper value on the masculine and the feminine, that anchors the energy And that helps to bring the balance. That's part of loving who you are and who you're not. Because you can't be everything. But when you honor whatever direction you are in, it helps the counterbalance. And then honor what you're not. You're not strong. You're not strong enough to lift 50 pounds, 100 pounds. I want to make sense of all this for you. It's all about acknowledging where you are, who you are, and what you aren't. That's part of the resurrection. It's part of understanding what biological suit you came back in. Because yes, you're still a cup of the ocean of God. You're still that cup. But that cup got poured into a woman's body or poured into a man's body. And the reason that Jesus and I work so closely together is we're that balance. We're the yin and the yang. But what all of you need to do now is balance the yin and yang in each of you instead of having a yang that completes you or a yin that completes you. So there is a balancing act that's happening, and it's been happening for a while. It's not just now. I just felt it was important to bring it to this conversation today as well, that we need to bring back, let me say it this way, with the new alignments, with the direction that everything's going in, you need to up your level of, of balance between the masculine and feminine. It's easy to get sucked back out of alignment from taught fear and hatred. And so much is happening on the planet right now. They are all keep getting pulled down and pulled down and pulled down. And one of the major ways, we just said that when you're living in love, your light will be higher and greater. And you'll be a light show that cannot be controlled or taught hatred. That's true when you're looking at each other and you're loving each other. But the other way to be a massive light show is to balance the masculine and feminine inside. And that will make your light individually stronger. And the more that you're individually stronger, the more powerful you are with each other. And it's an echo effect. That's what I wanted to add to this conversation. Thank you, Mary. It's a very good reminder. Because yes, if we're in ego, that's fear, that's anger, that's unforgiveness. And there is so much of that happening right now with social media and the media. And this person said that, hate him. That person did this, hate them. This guy is over here doing XYZ. Oh, that's against us. It's constant. Every time you turn on the media, it's constant. And every time I read that or see that, I feel like I'm just being sucked back to the ground again, sucked back out of vibration. And then we get sucked into the ego, which is then way too masculine, power hungry, control, fear-based. The compassion is sucked out of us, and we're controllable. We become the perfect victims again to the powers that be. Exactly, Karen. And in those moments where you are sucked into anger and unforgiveness and you're out of compassion, you're out of the feminine. And there's the balance that you're flip-flopping all day long in. All day long. The more that you can stay in the balance of, I don't like that what that person's doing, but I wonder why. I'm going to send that person some love. There's your balance. That moment to send love is back to the compassion, is back to the inner peace and the inner balance within you. And it's that light that will resurrect you and have you powerfully move forward as a person, as a community, as humanity, as a world. Got it. Got it. I hope everybody else did. That kind of crystallized it for me. Yes, thank you for that. All right. Is there anything else that we need tonight from this conversation? Hi, Father. What I need to say is, please do this again. I really enjoy these conversations and to bring forth this wisdom for everyone. I will. Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed this. I look forward to being able to do a podcast again once the book is done. Yes, we do too, Karen. Oh, bye, bro. Goodbye, Jesus. Bye again, Mary. Thank you all. I am going to let this show go for now. I have been doing my mass meditations. Will you all help me with that meditation? We will. That'll be great. All right. So, toning for resurrecting you. Yana no hotokotom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We call forth all benevolent beings from all dimensions, realities, the inner earth beings, all my elemental friends, all my galactic friends, all throughout this solar system, galaxy, universe, all benevolent beings coming into one heart consciousness. And we ask that love be sent to surround every molecule on Earth and throughout this entire solar system, echoing into the galaxy and universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Archangel Michael, we ask that you bring the violet flame swords. And all of your legions, take those swords, and we sever all tyrannical enslavement matrices, any connection to any kind of tyrannical enslavement matrices now. We fill all of that void with the breath of God, all the violet flame to transmute, 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 clear, 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 free, 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 all negativity, and transmute it back to light and love. Light and love, light and love. We just see it all shifting, all just becoming light. Everything, all that grid just becoming light. We're just surrounded in light and love. It all transmutes, transmutes, transmutes. Clears, 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 free, free, free. Everyone's just floating in love. We surround all beings in ascension healing cocoons of light and love, surrounded by impenetrable bubbles of violet flame. Anything done in the service of love and light expands exponentially to the gazillionth millionth degree. And anything done to harm instantly implodes on itself. Oh, I love that one. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for this and greater. All those that are hurting, anyone that's hurting, we surround them with healing cocoons of light and love and angels' wings. Their guardian angel wrapping them to shift them to a vibration of love and healing energy. Whatever they need from that healing cocoon, bring them that vibration and that frequency to lift them out of that pain and out of that fear, out of that taught hatred. Thank you for this and greater. As sovereign light beings, we tend to demand and declare that all lies and crimes against humanity be exposed and held accountable to anyone who caused it. They repent, they repay, they give back. All the money goes back to the people. Or we send them back to their source energy for them to start over, to remember love and light again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As sovereign light beings, we intend to amend and declare that we have the opportunity to step into ascension, to the fifth dimensional energy of love, peace, oneness, joy, vibrant health, vital energy, acceptance, the golden age that we've been promised by every religion, that this galactic alignment, this ascension time allows for us to step into, and an end to anything that gets in our way. We demand our right to step back into our light, the light of love. We choose to teach love. We choose to be love. We choose to express love. We choose to be the I am love. I am light. I am one with the unconditional, all-encompassing, loving light of all that is. Thank you for this and greater. Namaste. Amen. Aho. And so it is so. 1, 2, 3. It is done. It is done. It is done. In the Trinity of 3, it is done. Now. Oh, that energy is running through me. Feel it vibrating out into the world. It is vibrating, it is vibrating, it is vibrating. It is echoing and echoing and echoing. We are sending it out to all that is. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all beings of love and light that assisted in this prayer. And thank you all for listening. I'll be back again next month. Enjoy a month of resurrecting you. Goodbye for now.